questions on insurance. Will you take your talk now, Satish, or will you come back from the?
Yes, sir. No, I will just finish off in 2 minutes, sir.
Okay, great.
I won't take too much of time.
Dear friends, now Dr. Satish will talk on a curtain raiser, or I don't know what exactly is the matter and material. He has kept me in dark and also a suspense. So I'll request him to talk on real estate. That is what our main today second topic is, on real estate. Dr. Satish, platform to you. 5
Thank you,
minutes,
sir.
you said.
Good afternoon, all. I just wanted to tell 2 points about real estate. People have this belief that land booms faster than shares or mutual funds. I just want to bust that myth buster, you can say. So I will just share my screen for 2 minutes. My screen is visible, sir?
Starting, yeah. Yes,
So,
Satish, your screen is visible.
there is an index in our country called Residex.
Yeah,
Which is
National Housing
but
Bank.
Housing and Rental Development Index of the country. So if you watch this, so this is the prices of the properties in Andhra Pradesh, built up properties in the past 12 years, from 2013, in the past 7 years to 2020. As you can see, in Vijayawada, there's a plateauing. In Vizag, it's still in booming, and possibly sometime it will be in plateau phase. So if you can see, from 2013 at 70 rupees per unit, it went up to become 120 rupees. So it hasn't doubled. It hasn't doubled. So possibly around 10 years, it will get doubled. From 70 to 140, it will reach. Nifty on the other side has doubled every 5 years. So that works at almost 15% or 14%. And housing and rental property works at 12% or 11.5%. So I believe lands and selling lands is not a good proposition compared to investing in Nifty. The other thing I want to show was, people always say that the government. So the next question is, if I eventually want to buy some land, what should be the price at which I should buy it? So is this price 118 per unit a good price to buy or not? So I will show you how to value a land. So this is because most of our audience are from Hyderabad. I've taken a Hyderabad land into consideration. This is Jubilee Hills land, recently published in paper. So they paid 41 crores for a total of 1800 square yards. This is a recent paper published price. So
Yeah.
set 2.23 crores per square yard as per the published record. I think Ajay sir, you agree with me that
Yeah. This was a record deal which has happened and became a big public news here, right?
yes. So I was trying to work out, is that a good price to buy or not? So normally what they do when they value a land is, they try to look how much you can get from a land. So for example, I want to buy an FD of 100 rupees. I nearly get 10 rupees. So that's a FD rate, or 8 rupees. That's a FD deal. So to get 8 rupees or 10 rupees, I must invest 100 rupees. Isn't it? So the best way to calculate the yield from a land is the GDP. In 2019, total Hyderabad GDP was approximately 6,50,000 crores. Total revenue in crores. And total area of land in Hyderabad is approximately 77.5 crores. So on an average, the revenue generated per square yard is 8,387. So approximately 8,500 you can take. Always remember, my dear colleagues, always buy a land at the price of the revenue generated per square yard. That will be a good deal for you. So assuming the policy of 80-20, which says that 80% of revenue comes from 20% of the land. I will just annotate some part of it. Okay. So it is said that, so I am saying that the buying price should be equal to the revenue of that area per square yard as per GDP terms. So we believe that 80% of GDP comes from 20% of the land. That 20% is the prime land. Keeping that in perspective, you are going to generate 80% of 6 lakh crores is approximately 5 lakh crores. So 5 lakh crores of GDP from Hyderabad will come from 155 crores of land in the Hyderabad, which works at 32,000 rupees generated per square yard. This is the total revenue. Total revenue generated from the per square yard. And if you check, in most of the prime lands, including Jubilee Hills, around lands in the prime land, A category lands, the government cost is 35,000. So the bottom line here is, if you go with the government pricing, you are going to put 35,000 per square yard as a buying price, and you are going to get 3,500 as the profit, because the actual production and GDP of that land is only 3,500. By buying it at 70,000 or 80,000 or 1 lakh per square yard, the yield from that plot decreases. So you start looking at 2% or 1% of the yield. We are looking at 8% of the yield, which is close to FD rates. So the bottom line of all this calculation is, whenever you go to buy a land, suppose today I want to buy the entire Vizag or entire area of the steel plant in Visakhapatnam. Look at the government tariff. Whatever is the government price fixed there, that will be the effective revenue that you can generate, or 90% people in Vizag can generate as a output from that land. But people tend to boast up saying, "Arey, the next guy bought it 70,000, that guy bought it 1 lakh, that guy bought 2 lakhs." And that's how the real estate starts boosting and pumping the prices. Don't go with that. Try to find out what is the GDP or the rental income or the productivity of the land you're going to buy. 10 times of that you can buy as the price of the land per unit. That's all from my side. I will discuss this in later in a separate session or possibly in our groups. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Satish, very good calculations. I've also recently, while I'm making and preparing the talk for real estate and home for all presentation today, I came across this particular calculations. Yeah, thank you very much, Satish. Now, let me start sharing my presentation and questions for me. Please sit back now, relax. This is going to be the most awaited, I believe, session. But I will not be able to give more thoughts to in like what Satish has given it, but information gathered and the fact finding, you can say, I have done it and I'm going to present like that. Let me sincerely and upfront tell you that I'm a working partner in 2 real estate partnership firms, which are named Doctors Incorporation and Medi Associate firms. Both are registered firms in 2007 onwards, not recently or not very long back. And this is made within the private group with the private people. We don't deal with outside any commercial activity. This is just a partnership firm of the friends, and we have got certain assets accumulated over this. So thank you very much. We will start the investment for the sweet home, an aspiration and goal for all of us, all professionals in the beginning of our career, especially the youngsters, and a little bit of the real estate and a little bit of how to buy a agriculture land, which is for making a weekend getaway house or a farmhouse. So what Satish has said, what Dr. Sanjay has said last time, Dr. SRINIVAS MURKI sir has said last time, and all of us have mentioned since past 1.5 months about the financial markets, I endorse, I attest, and I go for it. There is no second thoughts or questions about it. But there is an elder brother of a fictional doctor, Dr. Sanjay has introduced last time, Dr. Dollar Raja. His elder brother is Dr. Kumar. This Dr. Mani Kumar is a senior man like me, almost 65 years. So I have made a story from his angle, and these are the facts he is looking for and presenting for himself and justifying and doing the business in the real estate and looking to have a shelter or a makan for himself as soon as possible. And when his practice improves, his corpus increases, how he should go about his thinking. So this is actually from the point of view of Dr. Mani Kumar, who is a senior pediatrician with a lot of extra income with him. So as we have dealt 4 assets, especially we are all telling it is for the long-term investment. And the ratio and the percentage of each holding, fixed income, equity, bullion, real estate, gold, etc., is based on our age. It changes. So there are 2 important sayings about this particular talk I have picked up. One is a old, about 2,000-3,000-year-old Hebrew proverb. It says, he is not a full man who does not own a piece of land. But in 1983 Star Wars movie, episode number 6, JD Master says, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our point of view. If I think that out of these assets, this asset is the best asset, my mind will always go there. But diversification is the key. But Reserve Bank of India in 2018, the latest released report has said 88% of Indian families investor wealth is in real estate and gold. This is the traditional investment which all our population in India does it since ages, generations and decades. And this is, mind you friends, is very unique to India. You will not find this sort of a sort of population, almost 88% of the population talking about only investment in real estate and gold. So this is the slide picked up from Reserve Bank of India's report. You see the various countries on the left side of the slide. India, China, Thailand, USA, UK, Australia, Germany. Various colors of blue are there. The dark blue on the left is 0% to 100% of the asset percentage which they hold. India holds almost 80%, and light blue, light pink is gold. So the major chunk in our country is dealt, as I said, by real estate and gold. You see all other advanced countries or well-developed countries, it is the financial assets, it's the retirement accounts, it's the durable goods or the consumer goods, that is what the assets they have. Let's not go into the liabilities, but the asset wise, this is the change. We only have 5% of our assets in the financial markets. So what are the pros and cons of this investment in the real estate? And this is the most popular investment after gold. First is gold. Everybody accepts because that's how we have been DNAized by our parents and grandparents. What are the pros? It is a tangible asset. You can hold, you can feel, it is indestructible, it is safe, it is status you will have. If you have a land or a house, it's a prestige issue rather than problem. And you feel you're calm, peaceful, secure, you're satisfied, and it is as per the tradition. So your father gave a land, you continue to hold it. And you also aspire and earn and you want to buy a plot. So, but shelter is a necessity for all human beings. So it's a priority. And if you want to own a house for yourself, it is mainly for end users, for staying purpose. So that way, this has got a house, a home is a first priority, and it has got that advantage. So let's see, if you calculate the GDP, what Satish was telling, 16% of Indian wealth is in the real estate. And we all know more millionaires are made in the real estate business in any other business so far in our living memory. It gives bumper returns when there is a boom period. And the most important is emotional attachment. As I said, it's a prestige, it is a status, it is traditional, it is hierarchy, it is ancestral. It has been earned with lot of your hard work. You possessed that land. So physical attachment, emotional attachment is there. Mind you, everything is based in real estate on three things: location, location, location. Nothing matters but location. So in the cycle of the real estate business or in the industry, there is a boom, there is a stable, a plateau. There is a boom, but no burst, no falling, no sudden loss of the prices of the lands. That is what is the traditionally said. Let's see what are the bad cons in this. There are a lot of cons. I have just also made two printed printouts in the, today morning after reading many of the current books, especially the Coffee Can Investing by Saurabh Mukherjee. But nevertheless, let us see here. It's a very big ticket investment. You can't do 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees, as we talked about mutual funds and shares. And you have to check the title. Is it clear? You have a lot of legal due diligence has to be done. And it is have a registration as a cost of acquiring a property or also selling a property. So the transaction cost is high. It seems it works out depending upon the various states in the country. At least in our state here in Telangana, I think it's about 10% you have to spend. So transfer, mutation, succession is a problem, and it requires a lot of legal work, paperwork, and rules and laws. Once you acquire a property, you have to maintain it. You just can't buy it and leave it off. Like your shares and your what do you call, your bonds, they are in your DP account in electronic form. Here you need to have a maintenance. You have to pay property taxes on it from the local governments. And it's one of the illiquid asset in the cons part of the real estate investments. Resale is not so easy. Buying is easy. My wife, Dr. Indra, says buying is easy, but selling is very difficult. In the bust period or in the boom period when it is ended in 2013 of the real estate industry and business in our country, people found difficult to sell their properties in 2014. Actually, we used to say, you wait with the garland. If somebody comes to buy, just put a garland and take and settle the deal and sell up the land. That's what people used to talk about in 2014. And once you buy some property or some house or some hospital, some clinic you make, if your children are not interested in it, what value it will have to us? You have to again dispose it off. Income tax laws are very complicated for real estate. There are a lot of regulators. Dual payments is the big bane in our country. Income tax department and government is going after the black money and the cash, but still the cash component is very high, and hence there will be high taxation also. I think Balwant sir will tell us here what are the issues related to the income tax in the real estate business or real estate, long term and short term. We will come to know. Many laws are there: Panchayat law, municipal law, HMDA law, NCR laws, you can say urban land ceiling laws, etc., etc. And now if you have taken in EMI in periods like this, where we are passing through the financial crisis due to the worldwide pandemic, where our income has come down, how do we keep up with the EMI? If in the good days, in the golden days, we have taken a EMI of 50,000, 1 lakh per month, can we able to pay that EMI? If not, so much of servicing of this loan with a heavy interest burden will be there. And you end up buying a wrong location. I am an NRI. I am staying somewhere. Due to some advice locally in Hyderabad, I buy a property and it turns out to be a wrong location, surrounding and everything. Or it has a litigations on it. You don't know. After you start buying and constructing, somebody comes. And mafia country. Every day to know the middle class family of our country. 40% of our population, it is predicted, will become a city city dwellers, urban population very soon. So the government has promised that every Indian, they promised in their this thing program, that every Indian will have a home to live in by 2022. Already 10 million homes are ready to be distributed, and 10 million homes will be made by 2022 in the urban areas. This is the news which I have collected. India needs additional to all these things, another 25 million affordable houses by 2030. So huge, humongous demand for the houses is there. So currently, after a 1 year, 1.5 year of little bit of problem in the market in the real estate, Mint, a online magazine, and JLL, a firm which specializes in the real estate as a consultancy firm, says there is an uptick in the real estate prices. Sales of the houses in tier 1 and tier 2 cities have shown strong growth, and it is driven by a couple of factors they have mentioned. Mint in its online publication in May 21. Stamp duties have cut by Maharashtra state, I believe, and Karnataka. Low home loans. Now I have read somewhere in the billboard, the home loans are somewhere like 7.5%. Correct me if I'm wrong. I remember taking a home loan about 25 years back, and I paid 15% to begin with. It came down to 14.5 and 14%. I took home loan myself and repaid back. So it is now 7.5%. And the builders are giving discounts. If you buy a flat and you are sent to Thailand, or you are given a Mercedes Benz, or you are given a car Maruti, or you are given a gold coin if you buy a plot, these are the discounts builders are giving. And top of it, there is a decline in prices. That's what everybody is predicting because of the COVID. And JLL has said, Jonas Lang, I think, they said residential sales in the first quarter of 21 recovered more than 90%. And pre-COVID area, all the top 7 cities have shown this, what do you call the trend. Satish has said about this only. National Housing Bank has devised long time back with a base value as 2013 as a NHB Residex. It's an index. It tells about the rates of the various cities, towns, the rental and also at the property rates. So this index was there, but I have gone through the chart. I've seen some of the values given there for my local city, Hyderabad, and my local area. They don't really match what the market is saying, what the Residex is saying. So there is a mismatch between what they have mentioned. Though it is main goal is to track the movement of housing prices across different cities in India on quarterly basis. So Residex has come in 2007, devised. It is still continuing. It publishes quarterly the prices across the Indian cities, very detailed. You can go to the website, but I don't think so. It really matches with the ground prices and the ground reality. Housing.com, another internet company dealing with the houses, and Indian School of Business of Hyderabad. It has come up with another index called Housing Price Index. This is just launched, and it's going to cover 8 major markets. And hopefully this index will give decision makers, industry, buyers, government, some sort of a effective insight or information to take the decision. And housing.com is a very big online. It has got a makan.com and a proptiger.com, and the ISB, a very big institute, world famous institute in Hyderabad. I think the dean has mentioned it's going to help. Let's see. So what are the different types of real estate? We heard Dia telling us there is a residential, there is a plot, there is a flat, there is a independent house, there are villas. He said, I found out while I'm making this particular presentation, there is residential. These are apart. There is a trend of buying a farmhouses, at least in Hyderabad. And commercially, we have got shops, showrooms, office spaces, plots and lands, and alternate investments in the real estate is agriculture land or what we call is farmlands, then I am a owner of a timeshare property. Many of you are also there when the trend was going on. Two major companies are there, Mahindra, Holiday, they give a timeshare property. That's also a real estate sort of investment, but for our vacations and our luxury and our holidays. So people are also buying and constructing shares in the holiday homes and in the resorts. There are two important things which has come. The government of India and the SEBI have floated. One is called Real Estate Investment Trust, REIT, and Infrastructure Trust, which is known as INVIT. So these are the two things. I will talk about it in a short while. Warehouses and godowns are now the in thing. Industrial sheds and the buildings, cinemas, schools, hospitals, clinics, which we can explore, and the properties abroad. Like we do get a lot of advertisements with the proper following the laws and the legalities. We can also acquire that if you are having a lot of money for that. So in Telangana, all these days, real estate was unregulated investment opportunity for investors. But the central government has passed in the parliament the bill called RERA bill, and it has become an act. And this RERA, the Real Estate Regulatory Authority Act, has been adopted by many states, including Telangana. So we have a website, and this particular website of the Telangana, which was passed in 2016, the regulation and development of the real estate, has very transparent, very extensive information available. It protects, the main aim is to protect the consumer, establish a educating mechanism for speedy disputes. It publishes on its website the records of registered real estate projects. A word of caution, if at all you want to buy something from currently any home flat, please buy from a RERA registered promoter. And it has got in the end an appellate tribunal to hear the appeals for the decisions and direction or orders for the real estate people. Now, while I was making this is wonderful survey which I have seen conducted by Magic Bricks. Magic Bricks is a online and also a search portal promoted by Economic Times of the Times of India group. So it has got just released a survey which says 2 times there is a growth after the lockdown has happened, and we all started thinking for a bigger home and also a little away from the city, because now work from home policy is into the picture by many of the companies. And it's a leading reason why people want a permanent home of their own. The aspiration to own a home is there. More people are investing in a home, and they are investing in their hometown rather than in the metros wherever they are working, because now you can work from a home and there is a connection everywhere. And most search cities where home buyers are looking for on this Magic Bricks website is Pune, Bangalore, and Mumbai. And Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, the Tri-Cities have the top 3 cities of our country where property investments are taking place. And these cities have active markets accounting for almost 70% of the share of the total housing sales which had occurred last year in 2020. That is almost 1.4 lakh home units have been sold. And if you recorded in the top 7 cities, 60% of all the new launches are also occurred in these particular cities. Bombay, which is known as MMR, Mumbai Metro Region, prices have bottomed out. That's what the survey is telling. And the unsold inventory of the previous year, that is 2019, has declined in past 6 years, not just previous year. In the past 6 years, has declined by 6% if you see year on year comparison. What is the most sought after areas in these particular cities? In Bangalore, it is Whitefield, where people are searching and want to buy house in that locality. It is a top locality. In Noida, it is Noida Extension. In Navi Bombay, it is a Kharghar, which people are opting and looking for. In Pune, it is Baner, and it is Mumbai, it is Mira Road. Well, I'm not aware of these localities. I'm from Hyderabad. But anyway, these are the top 5 localities where people are looking for. In MMR region, the most commonest ticket is 1 BHK. That is 1 bedroom people are looking for. 40% of the people are looking for either renting or buying, and they are seeking 1 BHK accommodation. Whereas in our brothers in Gurgaon, they want 3 BHK plus. That means 4 BHK plus. They want 73% individuals who are seeking a property or looking for home in Gurgaon are of this size. So size does matter. Where you are buying, where are you from? Mumbaites want 1 BHK. Gurgaon people want 3 BHK and above. So India prefers, if you see overall 60% of Indians want apartments in the building in 2020 in the multi-story complex, not the individual houses. But if you go in more little deeper, 35 to 65 years age group of people want to buy a home now, not to just a rent. So there is a 43% increase in growth or seekers who want to buy a house. And if you see the growth which is reported beyond metros are the top 5 emerging cities: Vijayawada, Meerut, Mysuru, Aligarh, and Siliguri. These are the cities where lot of demand for the homes are there. So what does the South Indians want? South Indians are searching for an independent house. Almost 40% of them, the buyers say, I want an independent house or a plot. That is the trend nowadays rather than buying a flat. And Vastu compliant city. This is one of the, either you can say a bane or a good thing. I don't know. Vastu, that is an old ancient architectural science of our country. Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai people want the most Vastu compliant buyers and homes they are looking for. Now, this is a statement. Recently, Motilal Oswal Real Estate Wing has made a deal of 650 crores. This is the 5th property fund in the last 3 months they have launched, and it is full. And it is repositioning itself from a shares and mutual funds broker to also a real estate business dealer. So they are looking for mid-income and affordable residences. So this comes under SEBI's IREFV. There is a sort of a senior secured debt for real estate projects. It's also overall comes under alternative investment fund category 2, and it is raised from their private equities and the high net worth people. They have invested 650 crores. So this shows there is an inflection point in real estate business and industry has come. Inflection points mean there is a turnaround, and turnaround with a rise, not turnaround with a fall. And there is a huge gap between the financing for these builders in the last 2 years because of the non-banking financial crisis and also due to pandemic. So the momentum is gathering, as I understand from the survey, and Motilal Oswal Real Estate people, which are short for known as MORE, has mentioned in the past 6 months, they have said the prices have bottomed out, the peak affordability has come, low mortgage rates, government incentives, increased emotional value of home ownership in the pandemic. As I just now said, people want to own a house and also own in their hometown. Now, this is the second type of an asset in the real estate. We have seen till now the homes. This is REIT, which I mentioned about it, Real Estate Investment Trust. It's like a mutual fund. If you see in the bottom, it is divided and they have an IPO and they are listed in the exchange, in the stock exchange. I welcome Dr. Ravi Kumar, Vice President of Central Zone, sir. Thank you very much for attending, and Dr. Hemabindu also. So this is a sort of a very good instrument to invest for a middle class or even in a lower middle class families, because your ticket size is totally different. This is the way it works. There are investors, they are trustee, they are managers, they are sponsors, they are investors, and it is all 90% of your collection of the fund should go into the construction of the commercial sites. This is mainly for commercial sites, not for residential purposes. So the project's minimum, which they say should be about 500 crores. So a trust, a sponsor come together, they appoint a manager and they make a special vehicle for this purpose to construct the investments up to 80%, and generate the revenues out of it from the rentals or from the appreciation. So investor can come in with a small ticket size. Currently, there are about 3 REITs in the stock exchange listed. One of them is Embassy Office Parks, another is Mindspace Business Park, then Brookfield India. And Godrej and DLF are also expected to come into this REIT. So there is a traction picking up. What was the problem? People were not investing because here also the ticket size was 2 lakhs. Now it has recently been reduced to 50,000. With a 50,000 investment, you can become an owner in a Bombay's very prime, grand commercial building, or even a Delhi, or even probably in Chennai, or even in Kolkata or in Hyderabad. So if you take both the graphs of REIT and BSC Realty, you see there are almost similar till very near from 2019 to current year. So the basic thing is REIT, though it has not performed very well with the 3 to 4 REIT trust funds available, realty funds, with the BSC Realty, it is going almost together. Now, this is Jonas Lang LaSalle. He is a real estate service firm, a very large multinational. Their outlook is there. They are saying $36 billion of real estate will be listed under REIT by 2021 and beyond. That means another couple of years. Because the prolonged growth in India, the story of the India is highly successful, both economically and otherwise, is going to be prolonged. A number of buyers and sellers will broaden significantly, and which is the city which is going to have the largest source potential for these assets of REIT securitization, accounting from almost 31%. 88 million SFTs are there for worthy for REIT investments in the next few years, maybe 1 or 2 years. And these are the other cities like Delhi, NCR, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune. Their also percentage of valuation and also in the percentage of their involvement REIT funds are going to be there. An opportunity for a common man like us to invest in a low value up to 50,000 for these wonderful projects. Abroad, all the commercial buildings are constructed under REIT only. Now, next fund for investment is INVIT. There are 15 registered infrastructure investment trust with the SEBI. They are listed and they are also under movement. But out of all these infrastructures, there are few of the infrastructure, they have not gone into that much of a popularity and profitability as was expected, but more and more people are joining. So how it works, the same way like mutual fund, basic structure is like you have got a NVIT trust, it has got a sponsor, it has got institutional investors here because it is a very big ticket projects which they do, and they can have 1, 2, 3, 4 SPVs with them, trustees will be there, project manager will be there, assets are, and the project manager appointed will be doing various projects, and we can start investing in this. 2 trillion rupees in the pipeline, 80,000 crores are expected in the next 1 year. More than 20,000 crores are raised from the investor already. Minimum was a 10 lakhs ticket for investment. Currently, they have brought it down because of the poor response. It is about 1 lakh now, and you can always think about having this avenue and opportunity for you. There is going to be a surge of interest in InvIT. There are so many companies have started. Now it is almost 1,800 valuation of $, million of projects have been coming by the various companies, India Grid, India Infrabit, India Omers, India Grid KKR, Renewable InvIT, and gas pipeline, Brookfield. Brookfield is doing well, it seems. So you have to also think, and all youngsters in the future, I think, will be having a opened up area. Now, after going through these 3 types of assets, let's see what exactly will make the price and decision to drive the prices, as Dr. Satish has mentioned earlier. Why Jubilee Hills land has been sold for 2.5 or 2.3 lakhs per square yard? Because Now there is a sustained interest by the occupiers, not by speculators. They want to buy to use it for themselves. And Hyderabad office market is also increasing. Organized retail stock to touch 10 million square feet by 2019 is mentioned, and the most affordable residential market in the South India is Hyderabad. I will talk about Hyderabad in next few slides because I am born and brought up here. I am aware of little bit of Hyderabad market and its trends, and I gathered information about the Hyderabad only. So this will be same as any other metro in the India. Say, let it be in the Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, Bangalore, anywhere, but the factors remain same. What drives the price of the real estate? And in Hyderabad, they say the social infrastructure is good. It is fastly developing. It is a cosmopolitan. The very different type of real estate avenues which are opening are logistic and warehouse demand. It has witnessed 93% year on year if you compare with the 2016 as a baseline, because government policies is propelling this robust infrastructure development, and the policies are, and Hyderabad metro which has come recently and opened, and that is making the difference in the driving the prices. The current news is Jayesh Ranjan, he is the Principal Secretary of Information Technology for Government of Telangana. What he says that thriving innovation is there in Hyderabad. The Dr. Khurana was mentioning there is a lot of digital activities. One of the area where ecosystem for Telangana in the form of T-Hub, Telangana Hub, V-Hub, Task, and other continue to prosper and attract innovation to our city. And JLL recently, another announcement was made in the lockdown just a month back, 250 crores of IRA realty sold at Shamshabad Airport to a private equity partner holder, and they are evaluating it and exploiting it to make it as 1,000 crore project. So this digital footprints are there in India, which is driving the attraction of even the international players. The peripheries are seen the sharpest rise of our prices recently. That's what Times of India has reported in last 1 year. More and more people, as I said, are looking and want to move away from the crowded city, densely populated area, and they want to go to the satellite townships because of the good infrastructure, peripheral roads, etc. And this plotting of the agriculture lands, which is happening around 100 kilometers around the city, is giving them an affordable land price, and they are better than the built up state of the Hyderabad available market. What are the headlines which says why this peripheries are attracting so much of investment activity and attention of the buyers and investors? There is a unlimited FSI. FSI is a floor space index. So now 30 floors, even 40 floors can be constructed. It is unlimited. Only city in India where the builders are allowed to construct as much as they want on a piece of land. This is a very important news. Western suburbs like Gachibowli, Manikonda, Kukatpalli has seen 70% of the sales in the past 1 year because high-tech city is there. The electronic or whatever you call the digital cities headquarters is in this area. So you can see Shadnagar Highway, there is a place called Shadnagar Highway where 1 year back the price of 1 acre piece of land was 1.5 crore, and now they are quoting as 3 crores to 3.5 crores. Similarly, Mitchell, 2 crores, now it is 4 crores. Tupran, there is a small village which is actually quite far from Hyderabad city, was having 6 lakhs per acre as the price it is saying, to 1 crore to 1.5 crore. So everywhere there is in the peripheries, there is a lot of rises there in the suburbs of Hyderabad. So Times of India further says Shadnagar, Kottur, Mitchell area where I just now displayed 1 crore per acre has now become 4 crores per acre. And they are, mind you, almost 30 to 40 kilometers from high-tech city, the center of the financial district, that is Gachibowli. About 160 acres of financial district, which is the hub of India's financial activity after Mumbai. Land rates in the pockets of within 1 kilometer radius of this financial district, surprise of the surprise, are quoting 50 crores mark per acre. And in Kokapet, that is also a nearby area of the financial district, when Franklin Templeton, a big financial consultant firm, came here and was searching for the land. The local landowners quoted 60 crores per acre. This is mind-boggling and phenomenal, which was just 30 crores a year back. Jubilee Hills, already Satish has mentioned, 2 lakhs per square yard has gone. But why? Because the supply is very less. There is no, permission to build high-rising here. And no people are also selling wonderful houses there. And it is the prime most sought after location. So the prices are high, and that is unique in the center of the core of the Hyderabad city. Cushman and Wakefield is another finance company, real estate company. This is also mentioning there is a positive outlook and the land values are going up because NRIs are showing interest, and they are the end users with their relatives and with their friends are planning to come back to India. Neighboring states investors from other parts of our country are pushing the price curve up steeply. So Times of India 3 months back said, in last 6 years, even the rental value in Hyderabad have seen 26% rise. And the current trend is, 1 month back, Economic Times have mentioned there is a rise in plotted development projects, what we call in a local term layout plots. These are the what is the trend, and this is what happening about 100 kilometers around Hyderabad. So going further in the Cushman and Wakefield, they said they have plots or open lands have appreciated faster than the flats. Hyderabad has witnessed this surge in plotted developments. Their managing director has mentioned in that report. And Outer Ring Road Growth Corridor. This is one of the drivers of the prices of the real estate and development of the city, both socially, physically, office-wise, and population interest-wise, if you see in the past 3 to 5 years. So Outer Ring Road was a growth corridor. So cumulatively, just to say one small quarter results, 3,000 units have been sold in 2019 in Shankarpalli, Bhanur, Mokila regions. This is a western quadrant of Hyderabad. Those who are from Hyderabad, Telangana, they will know where is Shankarpalli, where is Bhanur. It's a ideal Indian Defense Limited factory. The ordnance factory is situated. And Mokila is a unique village in Gandipet, or our, water resource lake called Usman Sagar. It does not come under Geo 1111, that is a green zone corridor. Even though it is attached to the lake, it does not drain its rainwater. It's not a catchment area. So Mokila has got a very high rates there. So the fourth option for us to buy is plots. People are looking for plots, and plots buying has become a trend both in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. And this potential home buyers are looking for it for their independent residential units, because distancing is very important in pandemic. Social distancing from the crowd, work from the house is becoming widely implemented, and I think this will be new normal in coming years. Look at this slide, a very important slide for those who want to buy plots and settle down and invest in the real estate. We have got 8 plots corridor which is going on actively around Hyderabad. There is an aerospace corridor you see in the map. There is a central business district financial corridor in Gachibowli, as I said, 160 acres of land where all the financial giants are there with their offices. Genome Valley, where our Bharat Biotech factory is situated, manufacturing vaccines. And in the Nagpur highway, it is known as Hyderabad-Nagpur Information Technology Corridor. At the new airport, it is not an airport corridor. Patancheru Industrial Corridor is age-old. During my father and grandfather time, it started. Pharma Corridor is there. Warangal Highway Corridor. These are the 8 corridors. If you see the dots and if you see the circles in the map here, the crowding is more on the west side or towards the Patancheru Industrial Corridor or towards the financial corridor. So these are various areas in our city where the plots are being made, where the demand is going on, where the prices I have displayed, which is mentioned recently, picked up from the report of the JLL. And highlight is, I have noticed Sangareddy, that's a new headquarters of the new district earlier from the Medak district, about 50 kilometers from Hyderabad, is emerging as a hotspot, predominantly driven by the low prices there and very near access to Hyderabad commercial areas. And it is lying on the Bombay highway from Hyderabad. And prices are okay, though the distance is about 45 kilometers. So northwest of Hyderabad is the plot corridor on the National Highway number 65, where you see lot of activity. And that is the end you see Sadashipet. That's where some of our ancestral properties are also there. And this is what I have seen, that activity of buying and selling, or at least the buying is going on. Now, what are the hot realty estates in next 1 or 2 years which are trending? Office spaces, industrial and logistics, residential, retail, and hospitality. This is what the mainstream real estate sectors are expected to fare in the coming year in the report of the JLL. And the newspaper Hans has said, in the flat arena, in the opportunity of flats buying, rise in prices in the new flats especially, and new flats are rising in the twin cities both of Secunderabad and Hyderabad. We are twin cities, you know. And because the cost of building is rising, because there is a rise in the diesel and inputs and the materials, so 20% rise in the residential flats I've already noticed. There was a spike in diesel rates in the past few months. So what these builders are telling, that 78 building materials are used to make a flat or make any project, including steel, cement, bricks, sand, etc. And they mentioned that 20% of the rise has happened because of the input cost. This is an IT company. Office space I'm dealing about with now. And Ascenda is a very big IT company, which in the SEZ zone of Hyderabad has made a 506 crores of deal with the Phoenix real estate company, and they have hired a building called Vans, and Vans has given it to Amazon for its office. This Phoenix Group, which has got a huge presence in our city, Hyderabad, is listed on Singapore Exchange Securities for the first Indian property trust there. And portfolio comprises of many of the parks, both in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and Hyderabad, etc. Qualcomm, you all know, is a huge multinational company, information technology company, Qualcomm. I think this is a which makes chips for the computer. It's a San Diego based company. I've seen when I went to America. It has recently hired 1.6 million SFT of office space in Hyderabad, and the deal was at 70 rupees per SFT rental deed for first 5 years, and it's going to escalate 15%. And this is one of the largest commercial office lease transactions so far in Hyderabad. Office sectors has recovered. Hyderabad is a leading market with the highest net absorption. Other day we heard Mr. Sivaram Krishnan, chartered accountant, talking about Hyderabad is the only city which is leading along with Bangalore in the office sector. And more than 50% of the net absorption is in between these two cities. Why this office sector is taking so much of traction in Hyderabad? Because of the e-commerce, because of the healthcare, because of the FMGs which are coming here. Walmart has come. You have seen Flipkart has come here in Hyderabad and occupying the office spaces. So demand is expected to grow 160%. That is 35 million square feet is needed for this warehousing purposes. That is what JLL is telling. And this is mainly by the 3PL supply chain, which they are going to construct and already started constructing. They are the largest occupiers, e-commerce people. Who are the e-commerce people? The leading people are Flipkart and Amazon. So 55% of the country's absorption is happening in Hyderabad. Now, this is a wonderful project, which I am as a Hyderabadi is expected to see. 350 kilometer regional ring road has been recently approved by central government in conjunction with the Telangana government, and it runs all around the Hyderabad, 30 kilometers away from the existing outer ring road. So the land between, if you see the land between outer ring road and the inner ring road is going to be developed in next 3 to 4 years. And none other than our CM KCR sir is taking immense interest in it, and he has put a deadline to finish the project in 3 years, at least the northern part of it, 160 kilometers. Already he has sanctioned 750 crores. And along with those corridors, Pharma City, Aero City, all these things are there. This is the map. If you see the existing inner ring road with 158 kilometer, outer ring road with 350 kilometers. In terms of its extension, in terms of, and this outer ring road, regional ring road is going to be a 6-lane road with about, they are saying 1 kilometer buffer zone around it. And it is going to run for almost 360 kilometers, and it has got 1,600 as the budget investment proposal. Just to give a comparison, I've been to Beijing about 5 years back. They have 7 ring roads. The 7th ring road was just opened recently, and it runs 1,000 kilometers. That means while you are entering Beijing after seeing Great Wall of China, you have to cross 7 ring roads to reach the central part of the city. That is the kind of growth any metropolitan cities in India also are expected to grow. So go ahead and see what best you can do in this opportunity existing. So organized retail estate is the one thing which has taken. This is Richard Ellis' report, which has mentioned majority of the commercial offices and residential skyscrapers which are coming up, and this is due to the government encouragement. And largest land deal has been done recently in the Narsingi area of 25 acres for Rajapoksha projects. It is 800 crores deal. Just a month back it has happened. And this is pandemic-induced lockdown period. 800 crores of 25 acres deal has been done in Narsingi area. Pepsi company has already had its presence in Hyderabad, and it is increasing the space. Brigade is another Bangalore-based company which has also announced a big project, and it is growing, they are saying, by 480% in the first quarter. Hyderabad residential market has got new launches recently, and geographically, as I said, west of Hyderabad accounts for the measure of the thing. You already know Hyderabad is a health capital. That is the advantage. People are investing in this. The pandemic has given new opportunity for new hospitals, new health centers, and there is a definitely an encouraging response in spite of what we hear in the newspapers. This is a unique thing which has come in Hyderabad, Medical Devices Park. This is at Sultanapur, Muttangi, Outer Ring Road on the way to Nizamabad. And this has got a 250 acres area with 14 companies already has come there. And Hyderabad continues to enjoy this dominant position in life sciences, vaccination, pharma city, medical devices, health, corporate hospitals, etc., biotechnology, Genome Valley. And this has got a extension ability of another 200 acres. This is the latest which I have got it, and this is a data centers which has come to Hyderabad. Data centers are nothing but computer servers which are stored from all over the world. When we right now what we are talking about, it has to go to some server, and Hyderabad has now come into the limelight because it is geographically located and large pool of talent which is available in Hyderabad. Seismologically, it is safe. It is a Deccan Plateau, and the waves from the satellite and the data centers are easy. Earthquakes are less. That is what they are mentioning. So there is a large attraction for the data center opening in Hyderabad, like cloud providers of hyperscale capabilities, policy incentives which the government is giving, reliable power supply, economical setup cost is there. Control S is Hyderabad. It has already occupied 2 million SFT. Flipkart, Amazon, and National Payment Corporation of India, Government of India has also come. So these are the drivers which normally Mr. Dr. Mani Kumar looks for when he wants to invest money in the real estate around him. So that finishes the first part of today's this thing. And I've got another 10 minutes. I will finish the last part, how to buy a farmland. Now, in the land issue, there are so many regulators. I told you, these are the various types of people which are going to take care of the land, and we have to deal with them. That is the reason we come across. There is a new thing which has come up by Government of India called Dharani. All your land records will be available in this website if you buy an agriculture land in our state from past couple of months. There are other agencies where you can see your lands. This is known as Chief Commissioner of Land Administration, and you can see all your papers also uploaded there, and you can see deeds of land transaction, etc., and further equipment. This thing. Central government has got a website called Bhuvan, and this Bhuvan is based by ISRO, and it gives you GPS coordination. It measures your area also, and it shows the surveys already existing there in form of like this, overlapped on the satellite photographs of the land area. So you have got surveys also mentioned, and its area also you can calculate. Those who are interested can go to this Bhuvan of Government of India website, and you can know the survey numbers and extent of that survey number very easily. National Remote Sensing Center has done this. This is our local governing authority called HMDA. HMDA time to time sells lands in the auctions, and we have got various zonal areas maps which sells. And this is the HMDA layout which recently went for an auction. It's a 700 acres layout. Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Telangana, Twin Cities branch have purchased a plot of 500 square yards there. You can see the central line of the red, that is the bridge, and the Musi River green color is going adjacent to this layout, and it is one of the top quality land which is going to be developed in near future. Already buildings have started coming in. Now, how to buy a farmhouse? Farmhouse purchase, we have got a corridor or a very popular area called Chevella and Vikarabad area. The drive from Hyderabad through the Gandipet lakes is very pleasant because it's full of greenery, no industries, and its environments are a pleasant drive. You will see the reason being Supreme Court monitored and implemented government order called number GO 111. It has got water bodies. It is a green corridor, and it is known as Chevella. Also, another area for this farmhouses is Shamirpet, and many other areas are also there. You can check it. Now, how do we buy a agriculture land? There is an investment perspective which you have to look for. People have got aspirations. People have got a additional income who have gone through an area where they want to purchase a part of agriculture land. Remember, agriculture land can be purchased by anybody in our state and also in Andhra state, I think. But some states, you have to be a farmer to buy an agriculture land. Correct me if I am wrong. Those who are living in Karnataka and Maharashtra, that's what the rule says, I believe there, but I'm not very sure. But in Hyderabad, in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, anybody can buy a piece of agriculture land, which is a investment of choice with most of the youngsters nowadays. Why? Because Government of India is also brought in a lot of land farm reforms, more investment, more infrastructure is going to be there. And there are a lot of development will occur in the agriculture field. And now the current thing is organic farming. Every city has got a organic food, organic materials, organic medicines, organic way of life. And this has become a big thing. In addition, allied activities like animal husbandry, many people are owning goshalas, having cows, buffaloes, sheep, poultry, etc., fisheries. These are all the things which they are investing, people with the know-how, and they are making godowns and warehouses and letting out and earning lot of rental. If you see in the Northeast, the government has already given a organic value chain development in Northeast region, and it is covered almost 7 lakh hectares of the land and given benefit to the 16 lakh farmers have benefited with this Parampagat Krishi Vikas Yojana of the central government. So the budget has increased from 2009 to 1.2 lakhs crores to 2.1 crores. So there's a lot of agricultural inputs are going to take place. Now, looking at this, this is one startup which I want to introduce, is being floated and made by one of our very renowned pediatrician, late Dr. Sudarshan Reddy. His son, who is an IIT IIM boy, who resigned a lucrative corporate office and made a startup called Bee Forest. You can go through his website, and he has come to a same sort of a conclusion like what we did along with my classmates 20 years back. He started in 2017, and he has made a Hyderabad collective. There the concept is there, a lot of people join together, and he buys wasteland and converts with a permaculture technique into pieces of common undivided share of land with a common facilities and infrastructure. This is in Mumbai collective, and a group of people, they come together with a single objective of do some agriculture activity, both for appreciation and for any earnings, and also as a weekend getaway or a farmhouse building in future. So a lot of people, IT people at least, have started doing this farm growing for vegetables like kitchen garden, everything, even in the backyard, but also in the nearby farmlands. So the second commercially launched company is Aforest.com. This is by the famous Subhendu Sharma. He was an ex-Toyota engineer. He adopted, when Toyota of Bangalore, Kirloskar Toyota of the Toyota car manufacturing company, invited a botanist from Japan, Akira Miyawaki, he invented a technique which makes forest, which builds forest, which grows forest. Forest happens over a period of hundreds of years. A barren land which is neglected becomes a forest land over a period of average 200 years. Whereas Miyawaki has developed a technique to create a forest in 10 years. And in 3 years, what you are seeing, the barren land on the left, and 20 months later, at least 2-3 meters of greenery you are seeing. And this is another forest which they have developed in over a period of 3 to 4 years. So a forest making technique is now being adopted by government of Telangana also, and Mumbai. In a lot of urban forests have come. This Miyawaki method has become internationally famous. A lot of TED Talk there, cities like Japan, everywhere it is there. Miyawaki method of developing a forest area or greenery in your backyard of your home, also not necessary in an agriculture land and a large land. Even 100 by 100 meters, you can make a forest like this, dense forest, thick forest, where you can't even walk after 3-4 years inside from a plain land, what you are seeing on the left side of the slide. And Brazil, Netherlands, and this company gives a turnkey project to you. You just give, I have seen the rates also, they have published something like 600 to 800 rupees per plant, and 1 square meter will have at least 7 to 8 plants, shrubs, herbs, and long trees, and they grow vertically rather than horizontally. Now, how to buy agriculture land? There is a due diligence process. Everyone who are interested should know this, and you can note down the documents which are needed, the due diligence, how it has to be done. It is not so easy, just go and buy a plot in the agriculture land. First of all, the agriculture land should be converted into a residential land to make it viable for you to make a farm house or a residential house later on. So what are the documents? It is known as Patta Bhumi. That means agriculture land in Telangana is known as Patta Bhumi, or you are a Pattedar. NRIs are not eligible farmlands. Indian government has protected from exploitation from NRI funds and NRI people. So no NRIs are allowed to buy a farmland. You have to see the land records. In the land records, there is known as oldest record after the survey is about 100 years old in Telangana, about 120 years old in Andhra Pradesh. Kasra is what is known as, and it is a document is named as ROR B1, and there are Pahanis every year where RDO and RMO proceedings are mentioned, and village Naksha is there, the land is mentioned, you have to check for that. 12 years is what normally we should check, but 30 years linked documents are necessary. You have to check the title and see how this land has come, where you are proposing to buy that agriculture land. Was it that farmer or that owner has got it through ancestor, or was it willed, or was it a sale deed he purchased himself? Is there a family certificate? How many people own that flat? Has got a right to divide that land? Registration is protected of that land. Is it a government land? Are there any legal dispute? Is there any partition deed among the family or the friends to make him available to sell? You must always see the survey number, area extent, subdivisions, and boundaries of that land which you want to buy. There are various other terminologies. I will not bore you, but this is in the cadastral map of the village. You will see, especially the protected tenancy, the assigned land, the Lavani Bhumi, what we call Inam land. These are unique to Telangana state because the various governments over a period of 100 years have brought in many bills, and for poor people they have given the lands, and those poor people have to look it is known as assigned lands. There are temple lands, there are religious lands, and there are what you call Bhudan movement lands. There are lands which are not there in revenue records because they are non-cultivable land. There are ponds, there are cart tracks, there are green corridors, there are geos. So you have to be very careful. But one land that there is no HTR over the land, no gas pipelines, electric lines which are crisscrossing your land, bore wells are there or not, supply pipes are there, is the land going to go in a road widening in future? These are all things, valuation, legal opinion, all these things you have to take to enjoy a beautiful farm when you acquire it and start working out it and get a satisfaction of getting it. So 80 years old, Telangana has got a land records. Andhra has got more than 100 years of land records available with them for all the agriculture lands, and they are very systematically there. There are 140 rules, acts are applicable to these lands. So there are a lot of things. You see, what has been recent survey has mentioned, there are 6.5 lakh acres more records in the hands of the people than the actual land available in our state. So you have to be careful. 3 important documents you have to know or you should possess. One is you should be in possession of that land, what we call swadhinam in Telugu. You should dunnukuntam, ante you should plow the land, you should do the agriculture. Even if you give for tenancy or a cowl, we call it, still you are in possession of that land. Then the title is New Pattidar Passbook. Recently, last year, every farmer was given, about 60 lakhs farmers were given new title book for their agricultural land. So see, when you buy the new Patta book only, nothing else. And then this has got all family record, how it came, this columns are there. So how that fellow has acquired the land, he wants to know. And what type of land, this land which you are buying is classified. I just now told, is it a forest land? Is it a Gautan land? Is it an endowment land? Is it a lake land? Are you in the lake level of the margin of the land? Is it a assigned line? So Inam land, Zamindari land, so many things are there. So classification of the land, how the person has obtained the land, you have to see, and you should be in the possession eventually after you buy. So cadastral maps are also available with our land commissioners and land surveyors. To look for that. The revenue cost, government, what you own. If you have that position and government doesn't reflect these records, your name, then you cannot do anything with this land. So there should be ROR, there should be Patta book in your name, and there should be subsequently all these things mutated and entered. Then only you can have. So there are High Court of Andhra Pradesh has given a very landmark judgment. What are the rights of the landowner in the survey and settlement records? So these are village title, online copy of Pahani, online B1 copy. These are various records and with certificates which tells you are the owner of your land. So if you see the circle, possession, government records, your records, these should also come. And if you see there is only one point where all these 3 mingle, that is the ownership record of your land. A slight calculations of the land, I won't go into the detail. We are all dealing in acres and kuntas here. 40 kuntas make 1 acre. And Survey of India is the longest, oldest government department, 1767. Our Survey of India office is there. They have already surveyed and they have done. This is the old type of measuring your land we used to have called chain. And even today in Telangana, they are saying, where are you going? So that chain actually, because the lands used to be measured by this specific chain link measuring material called, and is to create a tip-on map, that is triangles they used to make, isosceles they have to make. These are the oldest surveys records which are existing with the government. And this is the various type of chains which used to be there. Currently, we are doing this GPS land measurements. This gives you accurate coordinates, latitudes and longitudes which are there in our earth. You can also fix it with the accuracy of 0.23 centimeters. There will not be any mistake. It has GPS with the satellite system has got this, and this will give you 0.23 centimeters accuracy for your borders. And this is what everybody is there. Though government has not given the official sanction, but many private surveyors are doing this. We got it done 3-4 times to our lands. The latest what I have seen abroad is drone land survey mapping, and the drone does topographical area of the land, the contour of the land, the depths and the ups and downs of the land. And this is what is the most accurate they are saying. So that's the whole introduction of the real estate and the types of real estate. Thank you very much for patiently hearing for such a long time. Happy landlordship. Go and invest in land. This is the most traditional, most popular investment avenue. At least have a first home, and don't see for second home. Even if you want a second home, don't do it on the loan. It should be with your private money. Thank you very much. There are bad parts, there are good parts to this part of the investment. Thank you very much. Over to the secretary, Dr. Pavan Kumar. If he is there, can take over. And all the questions which we are having in the chat box, there are plenty of questions I am seeing. I don't know how much time we are having. We can extend. Can we have some questions answered by people around here? I'll stop sharing the slide. Yeah. Dr. Pavan, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I hand over the platform to you, Dr. Pavan.
Sir, would you like to answer any questions, or do you want me to save the chart?
You please save the charts and the questions. We don't have time to answer them now. If at all anything related to my topic, I will definitely try and give the answers to them in the group.
Thank you so much, sir. Our chat was saved. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Pavan. I have extended my time by about half an hour. We had 2 additional programs inserted, and
no, but it was very interesting, sir. I think everybody was appreciating that. Lot of appreciations for you. Kudos to you, sir. Thank you so much. So on behalf of IAP Telangana State, it's a really pleasure for us to thank. I know we are indebted to you, sir, Ajay Kumar sir, KOLUNDU sir, and Satish and all, and the entire team who has contributed actively for this entire module of financial program. Next week I'm really feeling bad that we are going to end it soon. So next week is going to be the final session. So with all the sir already told, there are prizes for the quiz winners. We'll be delivering the KOLUNDU sir books to them, and also certificate also we are planning. I think we'll be shortly posting the Google form. Whoever wants the certificate, who are really actively enrolled and participated in the entire this series, please fill the form. We'll be sending you the soft copy of certificate to you all. Thank you so much. With that, I'll conclude the session. Sir, yes, sir. Ajay, sir.
Dr. Pavan, can you save the chart questions, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I did that, sir. Yeah, I'll share it with you. Yeah. So with
Thank you very much, all of you, for attending the program. This is the penultimate program, and next Friday we will close the session with the new topics coming into your way. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.